Oh. Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15th. In America, this weekend, and particularly the Monday after the weekend, is a holiday. How are you going to engage yourself in today? Whenever we think of a holiday, it is a slowing down and stopping of our responsibilities, correct? Sleep more, eat more. That is exactly how Martin Luther King Jr. didn't live. A holiday where we remember such heroes is a day where we should be dedicated like them. Today's not a holiday, today's a dedication day. For us to remember how dedicated he was to us. If he were not alive, we would not be as free as we are. And for us to give back that dedication by growing in our dedication. So a joyous dedication day to all. When someone is physically unwell, the degree to how unwell they are will direct how medicine needs to be administered to them. If I'm unwell in a light way, then no medicine is needed. If it's more serious, maybe I'll be given a pill or a syrup to ingest. So it goes through this system. If it's more serious, it has to be directly inputted into my circulation. So there's an intravenous methodology. Everyone's flowing with that? For the past 80 weeks, we have continuously systemized meaning in our lives to be more authentic, to be more deep. That way, there is more independent joy. In Meaningful Mornings, we have flowed through stress management, development paths, happy living, and now Bhagavad Gita, the divine's call to us. What is the divine calling us to do or to be? To do divinity, to be divinity. Chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita formally is known as Vishada Yoga. In English, Vishada has many meanings like sorrow, confusion. We have been using the word fear. We find it hard to know if we're confused or not. We find it hard to accept that there's sorrow in our lives, but we can all relate to fear. Chapter 2 is formally known as Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya in English means knowledge. We have been using the term fearlessness. If chapter 1 is the source of our sickness, then chapter 2 naturally has to be the solution to our sickness, fearlessness. Chapter 3 is formally known as Karma Yoga. Karma means action. We have been feeling this as dedication. We're already acting. From the time you woke up to right now, you're acting. But dedication is, why are you acting? This is how we grow out of fear into fearlessness. And chapter 4 is formally known as Jnana Karma Sannyasa. Jnana Karma Sannyasa. And this means knowledge in action to renounce. Those are all technical words. We are feeling this as deservershiplessness. Deservershiplessness. As we're practicing being dedicated, we have to infuse this dedication with a reduction in the sense of deservership. In summary, what we have explored thus far is not how to live, but why to live. I have no expertise and no right to tell you how to live. But in regards to what's more important, why to live, this community is simply facilitating Shri Krishna's call. In chapter 2, this why to live or karma yoga is magnified 1 time. In chapter 3, chapter 2 is 1 time, chapter 3 is 10 times. Karma yoga, more of a plan is given. In chapter 4, it's magnified 100 times. That's why I told you, you can't just be dedicated. That dedication has to be infused with a reduction in deservership. Now, chapter 5 is a magnification 1,000 times. From that one verse in chapter 2 that shares that we're eligible for action only and we are not to focus on the fruits, that is being magnified 1,000 times in this chapter. It is formally known as Karma Sannyasa. Chapter 4, Jnana Karma Sannyasa. Chapter 5, Karma Sannyasa, which means actions are to be renounced. We are to feel this as doershiplessness. A more authentic and deep feeling than deservershiplessness is doershiplessness. Our doing has to evolve to being. Chapter 2, 3, 4, 5 is all training and intensifying of training so that in chapter 6, which teaches contemplation, we are ready to be. But if I don't do that all morning, all day, all evening, I will not be ready to be. For some, you may be thinking, it's the same subject, it's redundant. No, there's an intensification that's being presented. In this chapter, we have to reflect on the notion to stop trying to discover happiness, rather to rediscover happiness. We have to reflect on this. We may feel like we're not trying to create happiness, but the sense of doership is trying to create happiness. You cannot create happiness. What we can do is rediscover happiness. That comes from being who you are. Prince Arjuna begins this chapter with a question. Chapter 5, verse 1. Arjuna uvacha sanyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha shamsasi yachreya etayorekam tanme bruhi sunishchitam. Prince Arjuna says or asks, Sanyasam karmanam Krishna. He's naturally speaking to Sri Krishna, and he's sharing, you are teaching, you are guiding me to Sanyasam karmanam. That's what this chapter is presenting. Making sure we're clear of what these words mean. Sannyasa means to throw down fully. To throw down fully. Another interpretation of sannyasa is to know what you're not. Okay? So Prince Arjuna is asking Sri Krishna, are you teaching me, are you guiding me to throw down fully actions? Are you teaching me, are you guiding me to know that I'm not the actor? He's comparing this is the second quarter. Punar yogam cha shamsasi. Shamsasi means to praise, to elevate. Yoga. This yoga means karma yoga. The karma yoga from chapter 3. The karma yoga from chapter 3 is to act with dedication. So this first line is presenting Prince Arjuna's perspective on what he's supposed to do with all that he's learned thus far. Let me share more simply. In chapter 3, Prince Arjuna's question was whether he should act or not. Okay? It was more overt, external. Should I act or should I not act? His propensity was not to act. There's a subtlety in this question. It's not whether he should act or not. He now has internalized he has to act. He's not going to run away from this challenge anymore. Now the question is, why should he act? Not how, but why? And so you're generally clear about this, more will be shared. His question is, while I'm acting, should I be practicing deservershiplessness or doershiplessness? That's the subtlety of his question. Yat shreya etayoho ekam. Between these two paths, which is the one? Which is shreya? And I hope you've come to recognize that all of Prince Arjuna's questions are about the vision he's supposed to have. In chapter 2, he asks this question. Chapter 3, he asks this question. Chapter 5, he's asking this question again. What should my vision be? And in each chapter, Sri Krishna is lifting his vision higher or deeper. I'm repeating this to all of you because you must not think that this is repetitive. There's an intensification in what is being shared. It's childish to think grade 1 and grade 2 are the same. They may be externally, but what happens to you between grade 1 and grade 2 is different, correct? There's an inner maturity that happens. Tanme bruhi sunishchitam. Tell me decisively which path I am to follow. Prince Arjuna is expressing his impatience. His impatience. He doesn't want to follow the means. He just wants to be at the ends. Does that sound like anyone you know? I just want to be at the sadhya. Why should I do sadhana? You know who does that? Our kids. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? How long is 5 minutes? How long is 1 minute? And what this shows then is that he's immature about the ends. The one who's impatient with the means, that in a more full way shows their immaturity towards the ends. And that's why this is chapter 5, and there's 18 chapters in Bhagavad Gita. The beginning of this chapter is more technical. Be patient. We have lots of time and lots of exploring to do. I will try to unfold this in a systematic way for you. From inspiration to application, your recent application was to be active with all of the new initiatives that our community is offering. Yesterday was one of them. We had our Devi Culture Workshop, and we had around 90 Devis who had gathered to focus on why. It was a very powerful and peaceful experience. Your application for today, all of the clearing, all of the cleaning that you're going to do today. Clearing, I'm about to go outside and shovel. Many of you will too. All of the cleaning you're going to do for those who live in warmer parts. I want you to feel that your body is a car. Your body is a car, and you're sitting inside of this body or a car. When you're sitting inside of a car, the car is doing all of the work, correct? The tires, the windshield wipers, and you're sitting in this, you're riding along. I want you to feel that while you're clearing the snow today or cleaning whatever you're cleaning. Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be happiness.